Hello, I would like to review today how to install Irena, Nika, and Indra packages. It is October 2025. The current version of Igor Pro is 9.05. Igor 10 should be released in short future. Both Igor 9 and Igor 10 installation procedures are the same, so there's no difference between Igor 9 and Igor 10. I have tested against beta version. There will be two procedures which I'm going to show you today. The first one should work practically for everyone. In case that there is some failures due to, for example, the computer not having access to internet or having a flaky, difficult access, then there is a manual procedure I'm going to document too. So first what you need is to get an Igor installer file. What you want to do is uh, find the location of the file, USAX, Irena, Ilavsky. These things generally give you, in a Google search, give you my website, which you can then go to. The website for USAX has a software tab as a second one here, and then you can read through some of these instructions here. For the sake of shortness, I'm just going to go through them. The installer is this GH installer file, Igor experiment. If you click on it, it will download, at which point you will have a Igor installer downloaded in your downloads folder. Now, the next step is you want to have Igor 9 or Igor 10. I have Igor 9 here. If you just installed Igor, you want to first quit the Igor and then restart it. That will make sure that all the paths necessary and all the configurations are done for Igor. So if you have the installer and you have Igor started, you can either double click on the installer or just drop it off on Igor and it will open in Igor. There is nothing which shows up at the beginning. What you need to do is go here in install packages and then say open GitHub GUI and you will get information. This is information which summarizes the current state. So it tells you that the current release is July 2025, which is the last release which supports Igor 8 and it supports Igor 9 and Igor 10 beta. Then it gives you some more information about conferences and a few other notes in here. Here are instructions about what to do and how. So some of these informations is what I'm going to be showing here in at this moment. Keep in mind that you have here the links, so you can get to the GitHub itself from here. You can get to documentation. You can get actually to the YouTube, where you're probably watching this movie because this movie is going to go on that YouTube channel. So how do I install the packages? In an ideal world, everything's going to work by a simple procedure. You want to go in here and hit check packages versions. What that does, it verifies what is currently installed on your computer, so it scans the local install packages. Then it finds out from the website what are the release packages, and you can see that I have currently installed the same packages as the release versions. It doesn't matter, you can always reinstall over it. And then you can go and select which packages to install. If you install unless you are a USAX user, you don't need the Indra package, but you can install it, doesn't really matter too much. Irena is the data analysis, Nika is the data reduction for the area detectors. If you are told you need a beta release, here is a list of what is available currently online. So you can see that you can install versions from 2020, 2021, 23, and 25. If you are told you need a beta version, you can check the checkbox, and then you will get also the beta versions, if there are any. Currently, the only one available is March 2025 beta. And the important one is master. If you run into some really problem which requires me to make a hotfix for you, you might be told you want to install master. Do not install master unless instructed, and install it only when instructed, because it may or may not work. But it's a way how to install whatever happens to be in a GitHub today. These beta versions will show only when the checkbox include beta version in the list are checked. If it's not checked, you will not find it there. Alright, so you can check these, and then you should be able to just simply hit install update, and the installer will go and download from the GitHub about 100 megabyte large zip file. It will put the zip file on the desktop. You can see it here on the desktop, so that's the zip file. It will unzip the zip file, and it then goes in, and here down in the history area, it will go through and it will copy different files in the appropriate location. And when it is done, it says you have successfully finished. Now you want to delete the zip file and anything else. So you can say OK. Then you can say delete the folder. Yes, delete the folder. It will delete the folders. And you are left only with an install record, which is a list, itemized list of what was installed. If there is a problem and something failed, if you send me this install record, I can try to figure out what happened with the with the installation and try to fix it in the future. And at this moment, everything should be done. So what you want to do is quit. Do not save the file. Just, it's not necessary. And then restart the Igor. And by restarting the Igor, you now should, in macros, have options of loading in, for example, the Irena package. And if you do it, you will now have these things come out automatically. This is once per month reminder. It gives you a list to manuscripts which you're supposed to cite when you're using Irena or doing calibration, reflectivity, and using unified fit. It tells you what the current versions is. Every month it will run automatically, and if there's a new release, it will show you there is a new release on the web and you have an older version in here. It also tells you whatever news I felt are important for you as a user. And you just close that, at which point you can get to the whole Irena. Keep in mind that if you need help with it, down here in help, you can find the YouTube page where this movie will be. You can find, link to a manuscript, you can find the manual and so on. So that was one case. But now what happens if your computer cannot get the internet? For example, an antivirus software or network settings are blocking Igor from downloading file from the internet. So let me restart the Igor again. And if you open this installer file, it's the same installer file, and go to install packages, you may find out that, I'm going to close this, close that. When you do check packages versions, you may find out that you do not get much here. In which case, you need to download the GitHub content manually. And to do that, we need to find the GitHub. There's a link in the document which I just closed, was a link to this document, so you can open it from that document. And what you need to do is navigate to this J. Ilovsky at the GitHub SAS Igor code. That's where our packages are. You want to go to the releases, and if you are here and where the releases are, this is the zip file which you need. Clicking on it will download the zip file onto your computer, and it is about 100 megabytes. Now, the next step is you want to take this zip file and you want to unzip the zip file and copy the content in the same location where the Igor installer file which you are running is. So now what I did is I copied from the zip file itself, which was 73 megabytes, that about 100 megabytes unzipped file, in the same place where the installer is. That makes everything somehow easier. Then in here, you can use local folder, and when you use the local folder, it asks you where is the installation zip file, where is the folder which you just downloaded. So you select that folder, not the zip file, but the folder, and hit select folder. It then scans through the folder to know what is in there, but it does not have the configuration from the internet, but it can show you what is inside there. So it says your local folder versions are in here, and you can simply select what you need to install. The folder still contains 32-bit XOPs. You don't need those. We don't even have that capability anymore. And then you hit install update selected. And it goes through the same thing. It will go in and now from the folder copies the data locally where they need to be. You just say okay, it will rescan that and re-verify that everything is fine. And we're done. You can quit Igor again, do not save, that's not necessary. Restart the Igor Pro. Go to macros and you can reopen the tools and everything should work. And you can see that things work. So these are two different steps. The procedure number one was a procedure which automatically downloads everything for you, and most of you should be fine with it. The procedure number two, where you needed the zip file, is for cases where your computer cannot get to automatically to the internet and download it from the GitHub on its own. And for example, it's isolated or something. You can take the zip file and the installer on a USB stick, or you can put them on your own network drive somewhere, and you can use those to install on multiple computers at the same time. This is about all there is about installation. If you run into any other problems, the solution would be to contact me using the links available on the website here. Well, there's an information how to contact me. If you go to the front, there should be an email somewhere here. This thing links to an email, and send me the installation record, because the installation record has information about what failed why. Some common problems with installation have been listed on this website. There's a wiki, and here you have explanation on wiki what are the differences between master versions, various installation problems. So if you run in installation problems, you can find description here. The most prototypical problem is this one. If your home folder is on a network drive, meaning like a Dropbox or a Microsoft whatever OneDrive or whatever that thing is, iCloud, if that's there, they can be very slow, and Igor does not have built-in wait enough times to copy data there and back. So Igor assumes that the moment the data are copied somewhere, they can be obtained and checked back, and that may not necessarily work. Anyway, so some of these are not applicable anymore. Igor 8 is obsolete by now. Use Igor 9 and higher. Anyway, so that's where the information is. So you can go through it, and there are some other useful things here. Obviously, there's a manual which you can go through. So if you go in here and there is a web manual, it will open a website where you can read about installation, how to get to the data, where everything is, and so on. Okay, that's it. Thank you very much, and hope you're gonna have a success with Irena and Nika and Indra packages.